Alrighty, I think we are live. Just put up the number one if you can see and hear me good. I'll wait for that. I don't want to talk when nobody can hear me. And obviously we can see me. Everybody can hear me good, good, good. Now, I watched last week's show or 2 weeks ago, and it was a little bit of echoey. I'm hoping I fixed that. I've been having some computer issues. I bought a computer off Amazon and sent it back, complete garbage. And of course, I got the Scotta has decided to join the show tonight. Maybe I'll do a show just with her or him, whatever it is. And of course, Bat 13 first up. And of course, my throat is giving out already. 1 second. I hope that muted. Like I said, Bat 13, the guy is incredible. He is first. I can post at 3 o'clock in the morning, a short, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I don't care what time it is. The man is always the first one up. Uncle Pinks is checking in. Of course, my man James is in the house. Maddie and Kiki is in the house. Kiki is right there. I was waiting, not there. Where is she? There she is. I was waiting for that. And of course, my man 1047, who just celebrated a birthday. I do believe it was Friday. It is good to see you. And just a heads up, we had something planned for you, 1047, on the Maddie and Kiki live show last Friday, but you never showed up. So I kept everything. There you go. It is good to see you, my friend. Now I am only on, I'm giving it a break real quick before we bring Saucy Rossy in. And I guess his first name is Ross because I am looking at it right there. I'm bad with first names. So I'm just real quick before I go and bring him in. I'm starting to back down a little bit, burning out a little bit. It's been a tough go. Trying to run 2 channels is catching up to me. So I am down to one on License to Griddle and one on YouTube. So that's 2 videos, one a week. 2 videos filming, one a week, Saturday and Sunday, gallery, License to Griddle. And of course, all my other work just thrown on top, Z Grills and Chef's Temp and, whatever else comes along. So it's been a tough go. So I have decided just to back it up a little bit. Like I always said from day one with me, it's not just about the money. Yeah, the money is good, but sanity and having fun is key. Without that, it's just doesn't work. So I've also slowed down on Facebook. Facebook has been a bear. Even though I make really good money on Facebook, it's been a bear posting 7, 8, 9 times a day over there. So I had to back that up as my camera darts in and out. I don't know why it does that, but I don't have a temp here, so it is what it is. So Facebook, I'm going to take off for a little bit there, concentrate on just getting back to some sanity and some fun, blah, blah, blah. Just wanted to give you that update. Let's go down the list, and it is good to see Barbecue Mama in the house. She kind of hinted she was going to be here on M&K's show Friday, and it is definitely nice to see her. I'm sure Saucy Rossy is flicking his hands up in the air on that, so he is also happy to see you. As we go down the list, I don't want to forget anybody. Yes, the Scotta is right here. Give you a little tail action. There you go. She is joining the show tonight. Of course, my buddy Wendy is in the house. Going down the list. My man Anthony, we got to get Saucy up. I'm going to bring him in. If anybody has any questions for him, just kind of just ask him. Donald Perry is in the house. We appreciate you. Of course, my man Scotty's from Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Slowing down is not a bad thing. You know, I mean, you've been there. You know, every time I put something up, it's just it's bananas. It's bananas. All right, let's bring the man in right now, and there he is. What is shit?
How you doing, man?
So just say something, just so I can tell us who you are, just so I can set my volume here.
Perfect. My name's Ross. I go by Saucy Rossy Barbecue. I like to post on YouTube and Instagram mainly. I post a lot of repetitive stuff over to TikTok because I don't really understand that platform. Yeah, I like barbecue.
Okay, good. So,
Yeah,
one of the cool things, and well, first of all, let's start here because I reached out to Saucy. I'm going to call you Saucy. I reached
sure.
out to him. Maybe it was on M&K show. I forget, but he said I was researching you, meaning he was researching me,
Well,
which
more
is
your
kind of strange
sponsors.
because I
I
do
didn't.
no research.
Well, I didn't mean that strangely. I just meant more like if I'm going to come on your show, I don't want to be ignorant of who you are. I want to know who you're affiliated with, what you spend your time doing, what you push, what you don't push, right? I didn't go like this isn't like some FBI investigation. I don't have the strings
I
going
got
all
you.
around the room kind of thing. I just, I, our relationship is new. And where you're taking the time to talk to me here, I thought I should at least take the time to familiarize myself with yourself.
I hear you. So, did you familiarize with yourself that I basically spend most of my time just tailing M&K around?
Well, actually, to be completely honest, I got lost in the Black Earth catalog. So I stopped by one of my local shops and I saw that they had their catalog there. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to check this out. And I was going through that. And that's what I spent most of my time looking at. But sure, I get
Yeah.
it.
So it's funny because they also have a Black Earth. We're going to do something down the road. One of the cool things that has opened up to me, and it's probably opened up to me because of M&K show, because I really didn't know anybody on Instagram. I knew YouTubers that posted on Instagram like myself,
Mm,
but I didn't really know any Instagram people until probably them started coming on, coming on M&K show like Scale and Taylor. I mean, I'll get a brain fart here, but there's quite a few
hair is awesome.
Instagrammers who post on their show that, including you, that I got to know, which is that is pretty cool to me. How long have you been doing Instagram?
So my YouTube, I've been doing 2.5 years. And I think it was like after roughly a year, I started posting on Instagram too. So that probably about a year and a half.
Mhm.
I've been trying to figure it out. In the last 6 months, though, I'd say I feel a lot more comfortable with what I'm doing. And
Mhm.
I think I feel like I found my format. I'm sure it will keep evolving. But if you go back like a year or two, I'm throwing my voice all over the place. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if people like me with a higher or a deeper voice,
Yeah. Yeah.
speaking faster, speaking slower. I don't know if I should be, putting the phone into the grill, pulling it away, keeping
Yeah.
it still. And now I feel like I've gotten that balanced out, but it's only been a year and a half, so I have a lot to learn.
Yeah. Well, we all one day I'll break out some of my beginning videos. We all try to find our way. There's no set manual to doing this. Now, I really, again, this goes back to me, that I don't do any research on anybody that comes on the show, because I like to learn about them, when they're on here. And if I feel comfortable with them, it's never no pressure on me. Which I feel comfortable with you. But I see Scotty just posted you, so you do have a YouTube channel. I
That's
don't
my
know.
main focus. Like I
So I
have,
don't know if have I ever, because again, I'm a little fugazi. Have I ever commented on one of your videos?
I, I don't
So,
know.
so you're as fugazi as I am.
Well, I get a lot of comments because I post a lot.
Uh-huh.
I try. So I'm trying to grow really quick. That's the thing I'm pushing on YouTube. So right now I have a challenge with myself of putting out 10 shorts a day, and long format as well on
Okay.
YouTube. And so I get a lot of like one comment per video here and there.
Mhm.
I actually do think you have commented on one of
Yeah,
my
I
videos.
probably
I,
have.
I do believe you have. I know
Yeah,
the dog father has.
yeah,
And he's been super supportive of me.
yeah,
He was one of the first people actually that kind of was just like, "Hey, you're doing it wrong." He wasn't being
yeah,
disrespectful. He was just
yeah,
like, I was cutting the skin off the bottom of my beef ribs, and I was flipping them upside down as well. I was just cooking them like pork ribs.
yeah.
He was like, "Hey, check out a quick vid. Try it another way." And so I did, and
Mhm.
now I know how to cook ribs correctly, right? But
Yeah, he's a good.
I get all kinds of support.
Yeah, he's a good guy. The as you'll find out, it is a tight group. Um,
Yeah,
the the group that the group that started when I started, a lot of those people are gone now. The group seemed to have manifested over to M&K's channel, and
cool.
that is now the group. So Scotty, myself, of course, the girls. Um, I don't want to leave anybody out.
CJ
You're
would be in
there.
there.
Alan
Yeah.
Taylor goes
Evil
there.
Llama's in there.
Eva
Yeah, I see all.
Lama.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of a group happening.
Barbecue Mama.
James, that I see in here. It's a tight group. It's like who's there is here, and that has now manifested into the group because a lot of the beginning barbecuers when I started are gone. Um, I can tell you
Sure.
it's a tough road. Now you're in Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm over in Nova Scotia.
Okay, so you can't make any money off Instagram, right?
I, to be completely honest, I have no idea. I'm not. That's not. I don't really look too deep into that. I think I hit a button that's. I think I hit a button that says people can tip me or something.
Okay.
But like, I don't think people are here to tip me for meat. You know what I mean?
So you work?
Yeah, yeah. So I write software for a living.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a senior software developer.
Look at you, man.
I'm the operating officer of a software development company.
Okay.
So I just barbecues. I don't know. I'm just hanging out in the backyard. That's where I chill. That's my relaxing time.
So you're obviously a young guy.
Yeah, I'm
30s,
35. 35.
35. Okay, I figured 30s.
Thank you.
So you have a lot. I'm double your age.
Cool, man. Well,
So you
nothing wrong
have,
with that.
yeah, you have a lot. You have a lot of work left in you.
And
I
that
would
means you
say.
got a lot of wisdom then.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm learning. I try to learn every day, and I definitely do every day. Like I said in
Sure.
the opening of the show, it's been a little bit of a downturn. It's been a tough go. It's been a little bit of a burn over the past couple weeks, just trying to run everything. So
I heard you
we're
say
always
that. Yeah.
constantly learning.
I heard you mention burnout, and that's so important to be aware of.
Of
It's
course.
like, I've never felt it in the barbecue world, but it's something I've experienced in my real job. And it happens everywhere, right? When something becomes an everyday task where you rely on it, where it matters, but sometimes you get a really bad headache and you just want to take that step back, but you can't. And then that can cascade and build up and really feel daunting and stuff. So, I hope it's not a burden. And hopefully you're able to figure it out and get as productive as possible
Oh
back to
yeah,
the norm.
it's already figured out.
Oh,
Um,
fantastic, dude.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
guess
okay.
what
Sorry, I misunderstood.
as you do get older, you do kind of learn, and the one thing you'll learn is just to always trust your body or your
Sure.
head, your brain. You can pick up the signs of a burnout, and burnout. You know,
Yeah.
I think I was doing, two videos, three videos, four videos, like 4 or 5 videos a week.
That's
Now,
hard.
every video is 2 days. So
Mhm.
I was doing like 25 days. I was working weekends. It was friggin' bananas. And now I'm trying to work smarter. So I've already got um, a pork butt I just put it on the grill
Nice.
an hour ago. That's going to smoke all night. That's for Z Grills. And I did a brisket for Z Grills, which I did an all nighter. So I put it on, went to set the timer, set the alarms, went to sleep, and making money when I'm sleeping, basically.
Sure.
So I am not figuring out, because I should know this already, but I am trying to work smarter than harder.
Well, and a thing I didn't realize when I first started was I didn't need to film every 15 minutes of the pork shoulder cook.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When I, like a year ago, if you saw me, I was out back lifting the lid every 5 minutes, getting the right shot, trying to get this. And my cooks would take 12 hours, 13
Yeah,
hours. I'd have lots of footage, but it was exhausting. Right. And
it is.
I realized over time, guys like yourself, the ladies like Maddie, Kiki, Kara, all the content creators, they're showing the beginning, a piece of the middle, and then the end, the shot. And so I was able to then be like, oh, okay, cool. That's a lot easier, right? Figure out a formula.
That's a good point. It ties into what Scotty just said. He called you Russ, but it's Ross, but probably a typo. Let you talk. I guess I'm talking a lot. So, but that ties into what we were just talking about, because I'll do like a brisket where I'll let it go all night and film nothing. And then I'm saying to myself, well, how am I going to get 8-10 minutes out of this? But as you could see, I don't shut my mouth. So when, even if I have I'll have a lot of footage, but when I go to cut it and start talking, my talking just goes on and on and on. Before you know it, I'm 12, 13 minutes, in, and it's never a problem.
I tell people I'm blessed with verbal diarrhea, and that's why I find it so easy to get content out. So many people say to me, you make 10 reels or shorts a day for YouTube. And I do, because I reuse videos that I've been taking for the past month or two. And I just say different things. I'll explain, and I'll use one pork shoulder clip, and over 2 or 3 weeks, I'll explain, how you need to season it, how you need to prep it with, skinning it, or, sear, or how you should sear it off, or, what seasonings are good or bad, or I'll specify a very specific seasoning, something, if I'm just trying to help one of my friends out from the farmer market, right? Something like that. So, yeah.
I was talking to a CJ who just checked in, Cooking with CJ.
What's up, CJ?
I have, when I started this was, I think, 2019 or 2018. I have 6 or 7 hard drives in my office on the floor with every piece of footage that I ever filmed.
Gotcha.
Every take, every piece,
I'm the complete opposite of that. I like to delete all my footage all the time, so that I constantly have to challenge myself to put new stuff out. Because right now, I'm not actually deep into barbecue. Let me be very clear. I call myself the Canadian King, 100% self-proclaimed. I am not in Kansas City barbecue society events. I've been to an event, and those guys are wicked at barbecue. I just like opening my mouth about hamburgers and hot dogs, right? And so anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, sorry, I got lost in the footage. Yeah. So with the footage, what I think personally, for me to grow, I have to constantly delete it. So I don't at the end of every month, I put out a summed up, I take all the recipe videos for the last month, and I make one large video, I put it out, I delete all that footage. So now I have to barbecue more. I have to get more stuff. And I always see creators dropping the same videos and stuff. And I think to myself, man, I should just re-release stuff. But I don't even have 1,000 followers on Instagram right now. I only have, I think it's 5,000 and something on YouTube, right? So I have lots to grow, both on numbers of followers and ability. Because in my mind, if I'm actually getting to 5-figure followers on YouTube, I need to learn how to cook seafood. I'm from Atlantic Canada right now, and the seafood I know isn't barbecue. It's like my grandmother's seafood, right? It's so, I don't know. So it's just chilling, right?
So the thing with saving all your footage is, so if I'm doing a master built XT video, right now, I'll say, blah blah blah. My name's Tommy, Gallery, Backyard Barbecue, whatever. Those that follow me know that I have been cooking with Masterbuilt since 2018. I have had the 560, 1050, 800, 1150, and as I'm saying that, I'm dropping all my old clips over of me using. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's why. I mean, even though you think you don't need it, I do find it very helpful that I can go in and drop clips.
And in this case, are you like you're affiliated with the company there?
Well, I am affiliated with a lot of companies, but like, let's forget the companies for a second. If let's say I'm just doing like ribs,
Okay.
okay, I've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
ribs 15 times on the channel. So as I'm
Sure.
talking about ribs, I'll say something like, I've done ribs no wrap, I've boated them, I've done hot and fast, and I'll be dropping clips
Oh,
of those
sure,
cooks
sure. Yeah.
as I'm talking. So a lot
Mm,
of times I'll film, like I'm filming now, I'll edit
that's
everything
smart. I
and
like
I
that.
won't even talk. You don't even see me. So I'll drop the whole video, 10 minutes of the whole cook on my timeline, and I'll put breaks in there, and then I'll go outside to the shack and I'll film the parts and move the clips on top of me. So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
way that
That's
so
intense. Yeah.
it keeps it moving.
Your editing sounds a lot more experienced than my editing. My
Well,
editing is like I got wrestling on. I have my feet kicked up on an iPad, quickly like whipping something together. I got 45 minutes because the ladies tag team is coming on, and me and
yeah,
my wife are in there going crazy. Right. By the way, sorry I didn't get to shout out Maddie and Kiki. Thanks for the wonderful comment. I really
yeah.
appreciate it, ladies. But yeah, no,
Uh,
I just started paying for stuff to edit. Like I didn't. A buddy of mine was like, if you pay money, you get more transitions, and I didn't. So, yeah, I just started paying for that kind of stuff. I'm an idiot with all this stuff. I don't know if clues were shoes, I'd be walking barefoot. But it's
well,
wild.
we all are when we first start. We
Mm,
all are when we first start. I think one of the things difference today is when I started, there was really no help out there for me.
yeah,
Now there's a lot of help because
yeah.
the group of people now are different than the Gen 1 YouTubers. They were hard, like the Gen 1 YouTubers, it was hard to get to those guys. I'm kind of Gen 2. Now there's maybe Gen 2.5 or Gen 3, but the Gen 2s and 3s are all grouped together. So there is plenty of help out there for you, or anybody who wants to, tackle something like this. Do you edit on your cell phone?
No, I use an iPad, so it's still a mobile device, not a computer, but bigger screen. I just find it a little bit easier, a little more space to,
What program do you use?
CapCut right now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called edits or something.
Yeah,
It's getting heavily pushed to me. That's an ad I keep seeing, and it keeps being
I
like, you
see
should
it.
install this. That and Hello Kitty Adventure Island for some reason.
Do you
So
TikTok also?
yeah, yeah. And so I
So
try.
if you ever want to take it further, um, those are some things you might want to do is to save all Saucy Rossy clips. You can get hard drives on Amazon for $100, and
Oh,
you just
I could probably just get some from work, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm sure
really,
there's
what
a
am I
hard drive
saying?
I could use. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually
So
have
you
a stack of hard drives downstairs. I'm totally that computer guy, but I don't
yeah
know.
yeah.
I never really thought about it from this angle, so I should. You're probably right. I should probably save them. Yeah,
Well, I mean, if we all start somewhere, and there comes a point where we all hit a roadblock. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's the same shit. It's like I got to try something new. You
I
know?
totally feel that. As of recent, I 100% felt like I got to stop cooking ribs, pork shoulder,
Yeah.
brisket, ribs, pork shoulder, brisket. With low and slow barbecue, it's very heavy. The meals are rich. The food you're
Mhm.
creating isn't light and easy. You can make it light and easy by smoking an entire brisket and then cooking something with a very small portion of it. But we all know that's not what happens. I just go wild with my brisket, with my ribs, with my pork shoulder, right? I
Yeah.
love that stuff. but it's, you know, it's repetitive. There's only so
Yeah.
many things you can do low and slow. Now I've got some new books. I've started buying cookbooks to try and expand my horizon. I purchased the one from TFTI, and then there's a local chef. His name is Michael Smith, I
Mhm.
believe, and he's based out of Prince Edward Island, in Canada. And he's very sought after for, like, it's called Wood, Smoke, and Fire, I believe, and it's got a lot of techniques that I can't wait to try out this year. So one, for example, it's called the Canadian Candle. It's our indigenous population back in the day would take tree trunks and carve into them two big slots and then burn it from within. I'm sure you've seen this. It's also, I'm sure they're called Swedish candles as well.
Mhm.
I believe the Swedish military used them back in the day. But anyway, you can place a cast iron pot directly on top and just burn the log from within. And it's so visually appealing with a
Mhm.
cast iron just on that log. And, you know, so cool. I can't wait to try this. It's actually just a big trend on YouTube as well with that, you know,
No
out in
kidding.
nature kind of cooking. So I'm gonna take a crack at it, you know, and I'm really excited because it's just one of those things that by reading a book, it expanded my horizons
Yeah.
in the barbecue world. I always
Mhm.
thought I just had to read the back of barbecue bottles, you know, figure out new recipes, stuff like that, right? But
Mhm.
there's and even just, you know, like you said, community comments from other people, you know. Um, Even Kara the other day, she put out a bacon wrapped poutine cone. I have never seen that in my life, and I cannot explain to you how much poutine I've eaten. It's wild. So I
Yeah.
like just being creative like that is so exciting, and I just love learning more about barbecue that way.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing on Instagram. Um, I we're talking Scale and Taylor, right, Kara?
Yes, yes, of
Yeah.
course. Sorry.
I met her in last year in Canada. I think it was last year. So that was the first time I met her. I was with out there doing an event with Maddie and Kiki, and I met her there, and I started following her there. And man, she has grown. And same thing with Kathy. Um, uh,
Mm. Hmm.
you know, but Scale and Taylor, man, she's very talented.
They
Um,
all are, Kathy
yeah,
included. I forgot to mention her. You
yeah,
know, I started following her after your show with them, and Kara and Maddie and Kiki, they've just have been supporting me for a number of months now, maybe even
yeah,
years, as well as just other creators. And it comes
yeah,
back to what you said. The community is totally very tight, very friendly, and very, you know, willing to help each other. Like yourself, just having me on here. This is
yeah,
just a cool opportunity. Getting to talk, getting to, you know, expand my community, getting a little more information out there. It's fun. It's
yeah.
cool. It's neat. It's awesome.
You know, the food knowledge from M&K is just off the charts. I mean, it's beyond
Of
anything
course.
that is even in my head. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm just, as far as myself, I just have a feel for cooking. I don't have the knowledge of like they have, or even probably Kara has. I just have a feel because I worked in a kitchen all my life, so I just have a feel for food. If you,
Sure.
I'm the type of guy that, and there was a game show, a cooking show on TV where the people they were just given like a freezer and a pantry full of items, but not told what to make. And everybody had the same pantry of items and refrigerator of items, and they all grabbed all kinds of stuff to just put a recipe together. That's more of the knowledge that I have. Um, I'm not
Cool.
a I'm not like a I'm like an off the wall cook. Like I can just grab ingredients because the I just understand what goes together, but I
Mm.
don't have the brain power to know what I'm doing, like what it's called that I'm doing. I know I can just make it, whatever it
I
is.
I love fully planning out my recipe. There's nothing more like exciting than picanha. So I have a video coming out for a picanha steak, and I talked to my butcher for maybe 30 minutes about it, learning more about the steak, trying to
Mhm.
fully understand the cut. I brought it home. I smoked it on my offset smoker. I put a griddle pan in my firebox. Shout out Maddie
Mhm.
and Kiki. Shout out The Rock. Um, and I finished it off with a reverse sear. But it's like it was one of the most overwhelming and terrifying experiences for me because this beautiful piece of steak, I didn't want to mess it up. I really wanted to make sure I cooked it perfectly. And it was just so much fun and such a cool experience just going from start to finish with just that whole thing. But I just find that so refreshing and so exciting. Yeah, I don't know.
So, so food and cooking sounds like you're very passionate about it, but you're very passionate to learn more about it.
100%. I'm a very calculated person. Like my day job is very like it's like mental gymnastics. I do like heavy math all the time.
Hmm.
I really enjoy that. To be very clear, I'm not complaining.
Hmm.
But it comes back to just what I do in my free time. I love precision. I love
Yeah.
cooking something the best possible way. Oh, you shouldn't smoke that and then reverse sear it. You should just hot and fast the whole way through. Oh,
Hmm.
that steak, I don't know enough about the cow yet, but I call myself the Canadian King. So my goal over the next couple of months is I want to cook as many steaks as possible. My local butcher put out actually my local butcher Vessel Meats put out a little card,
Hmm.
and it has all kinds of different steaks on it, and you can get bingo, and you get an entry to win a Black Earth grill depending on what lines you get. And
No kidding.
I'm totally working on that. But it's more the experience. I actually took an extra card so that even past the contest, I can keep asking for all the different cuts to make sure I cook every single one of those cuts at least one time, because I think it's important for me to understand that stuff. And then I want to move over to a pig. And then I want to learn all about all the different types of birds, right? Chickens.
Hmm.
I have Cornish hens that I picked up because I've never cooked them
No
before. So I'm
kidding.
gonna I'm gonna
Wow.
cook those. Yeah, and then I need to move into seafood because I'm from Atlantic Canada. We have like
Yeah.
the best lobster, the best seafood, I think. Anyway, definitely
Hmm.
arguable, but I got to get in there. It's gonna be
You
delicious.
know, it's a pleasure to hear you talk like that because food recipes also get me very excited.
Mm.
I'm not. I don't get excited putting a brisket on the pit. That doesn't excite me. What I get excited for is like recipes, like putting a meal together from scratch, start to finish, like where you actually, where you're putting something together. When I have a cook the next day, like I've got a 10-pound pork shoulder on the grill right now. The only thing exciting about that is A, I'm getting paid, but B, I'm going to sleep tonight and it's cooking.
I'm
That's
excited for you. That sounds
yeah,
delicious. That's a cool
but
experience. That's wicked. I don't have a smoker I feel comfortable with running overnight. And that's not a complaint. I only have like a live fire smoker, the big one, or I have a tabletop smoker from
mhm.
Pit Boss. It's phenomenal, but it can only hold so much, and I have to refill the pellets after about 5 hours or so. So doesn't fully work for the overnight cook. But I can't wait until I get a little more, a little more gravity, a little more traction. I'm super close to monetization on my YouTube channel, and the first thing I'm going to do is save up and buy myself maybe a Traeger or something
Mhm.
like that, or something, some nice pellet grill. I don't know, but
So let's
something.
plan we can plan a collab. They're not as big as they used to be, but if you want to do a collab on something, we can collab and see if we can get you monetized a little quicker. Um,
So to be super clear, I'm like extremely close. Like probably this week or two
oh,
we'll
no
get it.
kidding.
I'm like, oh, I think I need 50 hours or like 40 hours or something
Okay.
like that. Yeah, watched. And so I'm not worried about it. I love it. Please don't take that the
Okay.
wrong way. And I would be super excited and willing to collab with you. That'd be super
Okay.
cool. But
So
I'm actually like really just excited about it because it's super close.
I
Yeah.
can tell you're probably one of the most exciting. The way when you speak, I can hear the excitement, and you're like a little kid in a candy store
Oh
with
yeah.
cooking.
Oh,
I can
100.
feel it. I can hear it.
Oh, it's when I go to the farmers market, I'm so revved up. It's so
Yeah.
like I got my feet moving. I'm trying
It's,
to. Yeah, oh yeah,
it sounds like even though uh, you're making more money than you would be if you were a chef, I'm sure, but it sounds like you're in the wrong career.
I'm just as equally passionate about computers. I'm just
Mhm.
a passionate person.
Yeah, I
I'm
can tell.
I'm also a hand talker, so it might come off like I'm a little more passionate than I actually am. But I love my main job. I have so much fun at it. I feel so challenged there. That's why I really like it. But barbecue just lets me cool off. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, like it's pretty straightforward. It's so calculated. I One of the things I really enjoy about putting together a full recipe and planning it through and is just the fact that after I have it planned through, I can just follow it, hang out, chill, relax, hang out, have a good time. Yeah.
Now, you touched on your grills. What grills do you have?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I have my favorite, I'll start there, is it's new to me. It's from R&R Smokers. They're a custom smoker company based out of New Brunswick, Canada, specifically Quispamsis. I have a 180-gallon custom built offset smoker.
Okay.
It's dual chamber, so there's two lids to it. It's absolutely outlandish. It's way too big for a two-person household, and I love it. I then have a Napoleon charcoal grill. I
Hmm.
believe it's their Pro Series model. Pretty straightforward. It's the entry level one with the hinge for
Hmm.
charcoal. So that's a blast. I have a Napoleon Phantom Prestige 500 RSIB. So it's the black barbecue with the blue and green lights. It's got the cool, I believe they're stainless steel wavy grates. I have a little griddle plate inside of it. I
Hmm.
also have a Pit Boss PB 150 pellet tabletop grill.
Okay.
And that's just a little pellet smoker. Those are my main grills, but I've had many other barbecues, such as like a Oklahoma Joe Bronco barrel smoker, multiple Napoleon charcoal grills at this
Hmm.
point.
Are they
Yeah.
Canadian?
Uh,
Napoleon's
yes.
Canadian? I
Yes.
figured
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Napoleon
mean,
is a
can have
Canadian
one,
company.
I do believe.
Yeah, yeah, they're really, really nice. I really like the way they retain heat in the winter. I
Hmm.
believe in barbecue year round. I'm out there. I smoked a brisket in -13 last year, and it was probably one of my best briskets to date.
Hmm.
And I can't wait to do it again on my new huge smoker. It's going to be wonderful, man. It's going to be a blast. There's nothing better than the fact that I get to snow blow out my offset smoker this year. Like I am so revved up as a guy. Oh man,
Okay.
oh yeah, man, it's gonna be so fun. Oh yeah,
Now
I'm pumped.
you mentioned the Black Earth grills before. Those grills are nice, man. When
That is a
I
creative grill setup. The fact that they're the hybrid, the gas, the pellet, they have so many different models. My local, so I went to a store called Timber and Gas. It's located in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And they are one of the sellers for Black Earth. They have a couple of other Oven Brothers. They sell out of there. That's a Canadian like oven, pizza oven, wood fire oven company. Pretty cool. But the Black Earth, what blew me away was their open fire table. And I don't mean the little square one. I mean the really large one. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like guacho or something.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
not sure.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. I think it's 53 inches, I think by 32. It's got like adjustable heights for the grates, and holy cow, I would love to burn my hand on it. That would be a
Yeah.
blast, man. What a cool tool that thing would be.
When I put them on my channel and said that that it's the literally the it's the nicest grill that I've ever owned.
Mm,
I took so much heat for that, because I got the Lone Stars back there, the monument, the not monument, forgot them, the I can't even freaking think of it because I got this cat in my face.
it's all good.
Yeah, yeah, but I took a lot of heat from everybody when I said that. But you have to see how the Black Earth grill is finished and the
Yeah,
craftsmanship. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not
it's like a
saying the
dress
Black Earth,
shoe.
huh?
It's like a slick dress shoe. You
My
don't get
God,
it until you see it. It's
you're,
just slick. You look slick with it. It doesn't have the same look or finish as other grills. The cutting board on the side,
oh
it
my
just
God,
matches, right? Like the handles, the way they're just, yeah, they genuinely look like a beautiful grill. It's wonderful. I believe they're based out of Manitoba. Do you know if that's correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
Okay, they're Western side Canada, but they're still, they're not close to me, but I from a distance, I love looking at them. They're
the cutting board,
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
the cutting boards alone weigh 10 pounds.
Yeah, yes,
I mean,
yeah. And they're sturdy, reliable. They look slick. They're
yeah,
gorgeous. I love that kind of grill. Absolutely. The fact that it's not a plastic side piece really excites me. So often you see grills that have the wonderful metal chamber with these I can't lean on it. I want to be able to lean on my grill and look cool next to it, right?
yeah.
That's what it's there for.
It's,
So,
like I said, it's the nicest grill. I had about 50 people over the house last week
holy cow.
for the birthday party, and I had burgers. Well, you might have saw the video
Sure.
on Instagram. I had that thing loaded with burgers, man.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous grill. It's a gorgeous grill.
You have the four burner. Correct me if I'm wrong. The four burner.
I believe it's the four burner. It's the hybrid.
Yeah.
He wanted to send me a different one, but once I saw that pellet hybrid with the gas, I said, it just excites me. That grill excites me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think options like that for consumers are great. I'm not trying to toot anyone's horn here, but I just like that a lot. I like the fact that I can say, "Hey, Dad, you should get this grill because it's both those," and he'll go, "Cool, that's great," and he can get it, and it's a good, reliable grill, right? There's nothing worse than like a lot of people come to me for barbecue. They just ask. I'm sure this happens to you. People just generally they don't understand how much I like barbecue. And so they don't expect the answer I'm going to give half the time. Like some people will come up and be like, "What's the right wood to use?" And the answer is, well, it depends on what the recipe is. Because if you're cooking beef, that's completely different than fish, which is completely different than pork or chicken, right? Some woods totally blend over, but in general, you should have a supply of wood, right? And choose wisely. But I get that question all the time. I also get, what barbecue should I get? Well, what do you like? Do you like smoked meats? Because if you get a Pit Boss or a Traeger, they can reverse sear a steak. You can do that You can on a Black Earth grill. You can do all this. So even those, what are they called? The Ninja, like Fira or whatever. Yeah. It's like the hybrid kind of 5-in-1 barbecue thing. I don't know. All the famous barbecue people got them and did an ad for them in April. So yeah. Anyway,
I mean, me and Scotty talk about it, and I have talked about it on the show. Really, all you need is a Weber kettle, right? A kettle.
That's how I started. Yep.
Yeah, a Weber kettle can do, and CJ says it's the Flex Flame, what you were trying to think of. I think the Ninja Flex Flame.
Yeah. Yes, Flex Flame. Yeah. That's what it is. Cool.
But
so I started on a kettle. That's exactly where I started, and that's usually my answer. What I tell everyone is a kettle grill. You can use the snake method to slow smoke something. It can be a little confusing, but try 1 or 2 recipes and you'll get the hang of it. You can hot and fast. You can buy extra accessories like to make it like cyclone or whatever, where it's right in the center. And it gets real hot for chicken wings right around the edge. There's lots of different cool things you can use with a charcoal grill, just a simple kettle grill. And I think it's the way to start if you want to get into kind of more experienced, moderate level barbecue. It's not full low and slow, but you can definitely do pulled pork on one and get good results if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Scotty said we all started on a kettle, or Weber kettle's all you need. Somebody else said we all started on a kettle. In the 70s and 80s, that's all people owned.
Yep.
Weber was
all my neighbors say the same thing. All my neighbors get excited. All the older neighbors that I have, they're all like, "Oh, I loved that. I haven't had a burger on one of those in forever." Yeah. Right? I give them a little bit of pulled pork, some chicken. They're, they give me the eyes like, "Oh God, give me more." Right? So, yeah,
and
it's fun.
And I'm just the opposite. I was just down in San Antonio, Texas, with Grill Sergeant, and he's like, he wants to take me out to dinner. He's like, what do you want to eat? I'm like, anything but barbecue, man. You know?
Hey, I am game for some sushi. I'm
Yeah.
game. I'm game for some pizza. Go to a nice Italian restaurant. I'm game for really any food. I get excited. I just like the experience of it. I know I focus on barbecue, but man, a good pack of Mr. Noodles goes a long way,
Yeah.
right? Like I am just excited about food in general. I don't really know what it is, man. I even just cereal. I get revved up. Some good Lucky Charms, man. Oh,
And
bud.
you know,
Yeah.
I wish I could still eat cereal. You know, but it's just got so much sugar in it, man. It's
Well,
just
you're right.
so.
I rarely actually eat cereal these days. I do a lot of oatmeal. It's not that exciting, but
When I was
you know.
when I was a young lad, I actually tried cereal with a bunch of other liquids. The only one I remember is grape soda, and
Oh my
they
God.
didn't work. Uh,
All
Cereal
right.
only goes with milk.
Thanks for the
Um,
heads up. I appreciate
yeah,
it. I'll
so
take a
so
note
uh,
on that.
so definitely don't try it. But like CJ said, peanut butter crunch. I mean, I used
Yeah.
to
Ooh, okay.
when I wasn't, like, maybe 15 years ago, when I wasn't thinking about that, hey, you know, I think I want to live long. But I used to take bowls of cereal uh, and put probably, you know, the milk, the cereal, and probably put 5 tablespoons of sugar in there and just friggin'
Whoa.
eat it. Yeah, I mean, literally, when the cereal was done, there would be spoonful of sugar on the bottom that I would just, you know, because sugar, you know, I have a sweet tooth, but
Yeah. Holy. That's wild.
no, I
That's intense.
quickly learned that I better stop eating that garbage. I used to eat a peanut butter and jelly every night before bed, probably for 30 years.
Is there
You
a
know,
problem with that? Because I'm doing that currently.
well, I mean, when you hit 55, 60, there may be a problem doing that. You
All
know, I
right. All
just had to
right.
stop it. You know,
Okay.
yeah, I just had
Sure.
to cut it out. Um, you know, it's just
Have you ever had peanut butter on a hamburger?
I just made one. One of the
Oh,
best
okay.
one of the best
Oh,
burgers.
no, hold on. Yes, okay, cool. I have seen this. Okay, great, cool.
One of the
That's a
best.
big thing where I'm at.
Yeah, one of the best burgers I ever made. I'll do you one better. I put peanut butter on a hot dog. That was friggin'
Okay, I
mind
didn't see
blowing.
that.
It was
Okay.
my. It was. I don't know why. I just got bigger. Look at that, man. I'm making myself come close up there. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, I put peanut butter on a hot dog, man. It was friggin', I'm telling you, it was,
So
I
just
put it on the griddle. I've been doing a lot of griddle stuff. I put it on the griddle, and I don't know why I'm
okay.
going in and out like that, but I put it on the griddle. So I melted the peanut butter and just poured it over the hot dog with some other
Ooh,
stuff.
that sounds
I'm just telling you,
fantastic.
so peanut butter is so freaking good.
Yeah.
I still eat my wife eats chunky peanut butter. I like the creamy stuff. We get a small jar each and both finish it. That's my like one snack. I'll take a spoonful of peanut butter here and there. I try not to eat the bread. Um,
There's nothing wrong with that.
you know, but I absolutely love peanut butter, man. I'm
Sure,
a
sure.
peanut
Yeah.
butter
No, it's
baby.
absolutely delicious. I really enjoy it on hamburgers. Here in Halifax, there's a local establishment called Daryl's, and they've had a peanut butter burger for like forever. Like
I,
I'd say 15, 20 years kind of thing. And I remember having one forever ago and just thinking like, oh, this isn't going to be good. And eating it, and it just,
oh God,
oh
it's
man, what
so
an up! The way it sticks to the roof of your mouth, just
so good.
yeah. Oh, oh man. Oh, I'm really hungry now. That's good. That's
Yeah, you
delicious.
know,
Yeah.
it was sweet and salt. I can't remember what I put, but my man Donald, peanut butter and honey on a hot dog uh, also sounds good.
Mm,
I'm a very curious eater where I'll mix, you know, potato chips, chocolate, and whatever. You know what I mean?
sure.
Like
Okay.
peanut, a
That's
banana,
very, yeah, that's
and
wild.
peanut butter. You know, it's like, you know, I'm such a junk food eater. Like, we don't buy any junk food in this house, but I'll take good food like granola and I'll turn it into junk food. Like, I can't stop me from going in and out. I do apologize for people, but I'll take like healthy granola and I'll take a handful of that and then I'll chase it down with peanut butter, you know, maybe a piece of cheese. It's like, you know
Mm.
what? It's just, that must be the old 80s me when, I was doing everything in the
Sounds
book.
fantastic.
Just like totally like, mixing and matching everything in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I love food, man.
Are you a fan of hot honey?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you the hot honey? Yeah. I
Sure.
really enjoy hot honey. I've been
Yeah.
eating a lot of it lately. It's
If
absolutely delicious.
If I ate today, I made boardwalk style sausage and peppers.
Ooh,
And of course, I
okay.
did the taste test and it was friggin' phenomenal. I immediately texted the wife and told her to contact the neighbors. I'm putting this on the porch. Tell them to come pick it up because I can't eat that stuff, man. It's just, I'd be 240 pounds if I ate everything I wanted to eat.
Sure. Okay.
So I took 2 bites, taste test, and got that stuff out of the house.
Is it unhealthy? Is there a lot of it? The portion huge? What's the?
No,
I don't know the recipe directly.
So it's strictly, for me, it's strictly weight that I don't want to be 240 pounds.
Gotcha.
I can't put anything, and you'll learn all this as you get older, unless you're one of the people that you see everywhere in the United States. Anyway, there are so many people in the United States that are just overweight and they just don't care. It's so unhealthy, and I don't want to be like that. So
yeah, sure.
As you get older, you can't eat what you're eating now. You just can't do it.
Personally, where I do so much barbecue, I've already actually looked into this, and specifically what I focus on is a alkaline high diet. So nuts and berries are really good to counteract all that rich protein that you get from barbecue. So I will cook all this food, and I actually eat almost all my food. I do give a portion of it away, usually to coworkers and other people that are just usually at my work or my neighbors or something, or family members, but not large quantities. I don't like to give out large quantities, mainly just because I'll do a pork shoulder, I'll eat it over 3 days. I'll smoke the pork shoulder, but then I'll do pork shoulder, smoke pulled pork nachos or tacos, and I'll try and make videos with the leftovers and try and reuse it. But I totally, you're actually just cooking way more than me though for this, right?
Oh
there's that difference. I'm not constantly. I'm cooking a couple times a week max, right? And then I eat the rest of it. I usually by meal 7 or 8, both me and my wife are like, I don't want pork shoulder. I don't want the rest of this pork shoulder, right? And so I'll make a bunch of jalapeno poppers just to clear out all the pulled pork. Or, I try not to freeze it because then I have just a freezer full of food I'm never going to get to. And it's, so, but I try and always eat it. I try my best.
So I try to keep myself in ketosis, which is,
keto diet.
Yeah, I'm not on a keto diet, but I keep myself probably 95% in ketosis. So when I need to drop 3, 4, or 5 pounds quick, it's easy for me to do because I don't have a lot of sugar and garbage. We were talking about my sweet tooth before. Obviously, I stopped all that, but I'm getting ready to meet CJ down in Vegas. And he's down like 80, how many pounds? 45 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, whatever.
That's so awesome. Great job, CJ. Keep up the hard work. That's so successful and wicked, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm telling the wife, like, tonight we're having fish, tomorrow, because I'm trying to drop 5, I got to go to Vegas with this dude and he's down all this weight, so I got to drop a couple pounds. It's with me, it's a constant thing. Everything that goes in my system, 46 pounds he's down, which is friggin' amazing.
That's awesome. That's huge.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. Well, my daughter's down, she had a baby and just constantly, when she was pregnant, she just ate everything in sight. She's down, I think, 80 something pounds.
That's so phenomenal. That's awesome.
She was very heavy. Nobody really, as she was pregnant, nobody really put our finger on it that, hey, maybe you should slow down what you're eating because she's pregnant. She just did what she wanted to eat, and she just found herself, way over weight after she had the babies. Yeah, so she's down like 80 pounds.
Well, that's awesome.
Down 50. it's for me, it's hard for me to lose like 5, 6 pounds,
I
for
think it's just
like
having the
imagine
focus and trying, and at least being aware of it is probably what's most important. And with barbecue, you are 100% right. Like the meals we have are heavy, but there are options. I think you said you were doing seafood or salmon or something like that. You were doing,
tonight I did
they're
tilapia.
lean, whitefish,
Hmm.
fantastic. There's definitely some options with seafood, even like something just like chicken. There's lean cuts of chicken that you can get, just the breast. You can still add smoke to that. You can still get
Yeah,
great flavor on it. You don't need to season it like a madman. It's still
yeah.
delicious. I really enjoyed with Maddie and Kiki. I got some bison, and I it's a really lean steak, but it
Mm.
needed salt. So I salt brined it with spruce tip sea
Hmm.
salts that I got from a local company. But here in
There
Nova
you go.
Scotia,
Mhm.
all the spruce trees are just budding, so the tips are actually edible. Um, and so it's just knowing things like this, that healthy option, how
Yeah,
to make a good meal that's still good for you, not just super rich and delicious and gluttonous, right? You can have a delicious meal,
yeah, yeah.
but it can just be a nice piece of steak, a nice lean cut, right? There are options. So
So,
yeah, good for you for being
so
conscious though.
yeah, so I don't think it's like this in Canada, and I know it's not like it in the UK, but uh, they allow stuff in the food in this country that they don't allow in other countries. Like it's
Yeah,
banned, but here it's not. The America has a obese problem. There is more sick people in this country than you would believe. You can't even to go to a pharmacy in this country, you're going to wait in line like 5 minutes, no matter
well,
where you go. I mean, the amount of prescriptions that this country writes is just mind boggling to me.
sure.
We are a very sick country. And I never talk politics here, and I'm certainly no Trumper. But the one thing that I'm a fan of, and the one thing I was excited for was that RFK, because he's getting a lot of these red dyes. I mean, they put red dye in the foods here that causes cancer. Now, this red dye is banned in Canada and other countries, but here they allowed it for 20, 30 years. It's just mind boggling to me. The amount of fast food joints in this country is crazy. You know,
I don't
um,
actually know anything about the stuff you're throwing down, but what I can tell you is this: when I went to the United States, your food tastes different for sure.
yeah,
Your chicken 100% tastes different than our chicken. And
because
when I mean that, I just mean going to the grocery store, buying some raw chicken, cooking it in the backyard on a
yeah,
barbecue. There's something different. Your milk
of course,
100% tastes different.
because they put a lot of steroids, and there's a lot of stuff in the food here that doesn't belong in the food. And it basically, because it comes from, again, I don't get political, but it's both sides really. Whoa. Um, the politicians in this country basically sold everybody out, because they get a lot of kickbacks from these manufacturers and pharmaceutical companies, blah blah blah, and it's a bad thing in this country. And it's not one side or the other side; it's both sides. They both do it. Like cancer, like if somebody goes to the doctor, and then we'll get off the subject at 7 o'clock anyway, but if somebody goes to, and it's because this is a big thing in me, big
Sure.
crawl for me. If somebody goes to the doctor and they're overweight, they would rather prescribe drugs than say, you need to go on a diet, you need to lose weight, your blood pressure's too high. They would rather just give you drugs. You know what I mean? And that's just the wrong way
There's definitely a problem with stuff like that,
yeah.
but I think you being aware of it is just a great first step at least, right? Like I'm sure you're much past the first step, but being conscious of needing to eat healthy, not trying to, being just going for a good walk. Like that's
Yeah.
honestly what it takes is get outside, stretch the legs, get the back up, move it around a little bit, right? Throw the ball for a
Yeah.
quick
Well,
minute or two, right?
I go to the gym six days a week.
Oh shit.
I'm at
Okay.
the
Well, there you
gym
go. There you go. Yeah,
6 o'clock in the
you're
morning. I'm at the
pumping
gym
iron.
every day.
Okay, there you go.
Um,
Yeah.
Now I don't. I'm not CJ or Kiki. She's still out there. I don't jack myself up. I
Sure,
just do
sure.
the treadmill. I
Okay,
do the
but that's
treadmill for,
but that's what I mean, right? Get up,
yeah.
get moving, stretch the
Oh
legs,
yeah.
get the blood flowing, get the endorphins going, get the blood circulating, right? That's good for you.
It's since I retired, it's a routine for me. I'm up 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa.
I'm in here working, then I'm starting my truck at 5:45. I'm like Groundhog Day. It's the same thing over and over for me. I'm very regiment in
Okay,
what I do.
but
I
that's
need
healthy.
everything not planned out, but kind of planned out. I don't like any surprises. I need my whole day, every day.
Yeah,
I
sure,
don't like
sure.
anything throwing me off.
Yeah, and patterns, cycles, all that stuff. It's a good thing, right? When you
Yeah,
get in that zone, being positive, finding things that you like that make you happy. It's fine if you keep doing them. That's the way I look at it. If it's not hurting
that
anyone, there's no problem, right? If you're out there
that's a
barbecuing,
whole
you
that's
know,
a whole other show, which I talk about here a lot. Is just positive mental attitude and meditation, and how you go about your day, and how you can manifest exactly what you want. I studied a lot of that stuff for years, a few years back, under like Wayne Dyer, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but
I
you
don't
know,
really know much about it, but all I try and do is help others, be good, be kind, treat
so
others the way you want to be, right?
of
Be
course,
positive, be thankful when you wake up because one day you won't, right?
so so that would be like the laws of attraction. So
Be
that's so
kind while you're here.
you study the laws of attraction and you don't even know it. Because the
I
laws of
guess.
attraction is basically, in a nutshell, is how you act is what you're going to attract. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
I guess.
probably
Sure.
attract good people because you're a good person. So that's the laws of attraction.
Everyone that's come around has been nothing but super friendly. My wife's
Yeah,
super cool. Like
yeah. I can
I
tell
got
just
it's pretty hip.
I can
Yeah,
tell just by talking to you. Quite frankly, I
thank
said
you. I
that in the
appreciate that.
beginning of the show. That you're very passionate. You're
Yeah,
definitely not. You're not a
I try and
downer.
just I try and just be a cool dude in a loose mood. That's the right
Hey,
way to be,
yes,
right?
that's it. Yeah, I
Right?
dig
Because
that.
worse things can happen. At the end of the day, I always try and take a step back and just be thankful that I've got it. The worst thing I got to worry about is cooking some food and record it, right? Like
Yeah,
that's where my life's at right now. It's pretty nice. It's
yeah.
good, and so I'm thankful for that. I'm
You know,
thankful for my friends, my family.
we'll close on this. The two things that I learned, and two things that a lot of people don't really understand when I say it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Is number one is put yourself first. You come before your wife, you come before your kids, you come before your mother, you come before everybody. Because if you're happy, right, if you take care of yourself first, then you can take care of everybody else. But if you're too busy taking care of everyone else's needs, you're a miserable person. So that's number one,
Mm.
is just put yourself first. Your happiness is more important than anybody else's. Okay, because then you can take care of everybody else in a happy frame of mind. That's number one. And the second most important thing that I learned was, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. I don't care.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care. You know,
Yeah,
and
100%.
once you,
I completely agree with that, and
yeah,
that's super important, especially if you're posting online. I
yeah,
always have talked with other creators, and they're like, "How do you deal with the haters?" And it's like, I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah,
it's like they can keep typing. All it is an engagement. I'll start a fire
yeah.
with them for all I care,
Once
right?
you stop caring
Yeah,
once you stop, like people rag on me all the time, because with the bracelets, like, what are you, a girl? What do you got so many
sure,
bracelets? I'll
yeah.
just add another
I thought it
bracelet
was
when I
cool.
hear
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was cool. Yeah.
It's just like, the last thing I want to do is be the same as everybody else. I
Mm.
hate That's probably one of the things that attracted me, and I'm going to close on this. One of the things that attracted me to M&K was because they're like nobody else. They're so different than anybody else, and they don't act like anybody else. They don't drink. they're very focused. Um, you know, they're different, and you know, I dig that because that's how I am. I don't want to be like anybody. You know, I
Sure.
don't want to be like anybody.
Being unique's important for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool, man. We can probably go for another hour, and I think. Oh, I thought I froze there for a second. We're gonna end this here, man.
Groovy. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. It means a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone in the chat. I haven't had a chance to actually see the chat while I'm sitting here, so I'm just hanging out. Sorry if anyone's saying anything cool, shout me out. If you're not and you're all silent, well, that's cool too. CJ, keep up the hard work, dude. Oh, hey, there's my iPhone going crazy with some background
Look at you.
effects.
You even got
Yeah,
fireworks happening,
yeah.
man.
There, check it out. I can make it rain because it's raining outside. There you go.
How do you do that?
Just iPhone.
That's the computer in
Yeah,
you.
well, let's talk after. I know how to fix your camera problem with it zooming in. Let's talk after. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah. The point I was getting to. Hey, be nice to other people, everyone. Barbecue.
Yeah, you're a good. You're a good dude, man. You're a good dude. I could
I
tell.
appreciate it.
We'll talk again. We'll get in on that collab.
Yeah, it'd be
When I
fun.
get back from Vegas, we'll
Yeah,
hook
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Cool, man.
Cool.
I'm going to cut you out, and I will talk to you soon, man.
Take care. Stay safe.
All right, man. So that's a good dude right there, man. I could tell. I could tell within 5 minutes, and this is the first time I've ever spoken to him, and obviously I know him through M&K. I could tell within the first 5 minutes that this dude is a good person. You know, he's a good person. Like we touched on, it's a tight family. We see him in here. CJ popped in, you know, and then John, and then Jay, and then James. My man Donald Perry, I think he's new, but it is glad to have you. I don't know if you've been in this chat before. If you have been, I apologize, and I hope to see you again. But Grandpa, um, my man 1047, Tom's Food Factory. I don't think I said hi to those guys. He's another one. These are all the people that come here that also go to M&K show. And that's just a tight family. This is how it has evolved, you know, and it's pretty cool, man. It is pretty cool, but it is late for this show. I usually end at 7, but Ross is he's a good dude and he's a talker. So I probably could have went with another hour for him. We'll have to bring him back down the road. We can get into a whole other list of stuff, but let me cut out on you guys, and that's it, man. Just keep on supporting all the content creators, family, Barbecue Mama. I really appreciate you popping in here tonight. That's more special than anything. Anything. So that's cool. CJ, I will see you guys soon. Donald, you're the man. That's going to put an end to the show here. And until next time, we will see you soon.